Hey, what's up, guys, man? Today is going to be like a very, just different type of episode because like this one it's personal. So I wanted to ask my fans and people around like about, like actually I wanted to bring up a list. Let me bring up my list. The topic that I'm going off of today, we're going to talk about my replayables. And when I mean by replayables, I mean like things that like I replay when it comes to video games or when it comes to like rewatching, like replaying a anime or something that I watch. Like it's like you know how if put it like this. We're gonna start off with my anime replayables, right? We're gonna do that first. So I think the number one show, if I run across it, if I just run across like one episode, right, and I just watch it, that one episode, I literally got to watch it from then until the end of the series, every time. I don't know why that happens, but it's just what it is. But the number one show that makes me do that is Dragon Ball Z. That's period. That's like the first, like the other day I was playing Dragon Ball Spark and Zero, and you know how like Spark and Zero has like their new DLC that they just dropped. I was playing the story mode with like Krillin, and as soon as I played it, man, and I was like up there in Namek and fighting the Ginyu Force, I think I fell asleep. I think I fell asleep after I played that game or whatever. But as soon as I got up, I went straight. I mean, I went to Crunchyroll and pulled up Dragon Ball Z and started watching from that particular episode until Goku came, to Namek and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, why does this happen to me every time? So that is like the first show that I'm gonna give you an example of. Another one that comes in mind is Naruto. Like Naruto, I don't know how many times I've watched the original and Shippuden. Like Naruto is one of my favorite animes of all time, if not my favorite outside of Dragon Ball Z. But Naruto, man, like if I watch like one arc that I think I've watched 1,000 times has to be the what was the arc? The Chunin exams. The Chunin exams, I don't know how many times I've watched it, especially like the fight between Naruto and Neji, and then just waiting, just the build up, waiting for Sasuke to come to the arena to fight Gaara it was epic, and that's one of those shows, man. That's one of them shows, man. Like, and then like Naruto is a very deep show. So it's like, it's crazy because like me and my friends always had debates like about who's your favorite character, Naruto or Sasuke, and of course I'm a Sasuke dude. So, and mainly because I feel like I connect with Sasuke a lot more than I do Naruto. Not saying that Naruto's story isn't like, like a good story or something like that, but I really feel like I side with Sasuke, because I feel like I would have did the same thing. I mean, if my brother ended up killing my family, like I'm not letting that slide. Like there's nothing that you're gonna tell me that's gonna make me just ignore the fact that you just killed mom and dad and auntie, uncles, and everybody, and then you just left me alive. Like, oh no, I gotta see you, bruh. I gotta see you. And the leaf ain't gonna be able to stop me. A best friend ain't gonna be able to stop me. Like I'm going after you. Like that shit it got to go down when I see you. You feel me? And every time I watch the series, it's funny because, Itachi didn't. he was bitching Sasuke, man. Like it's crazy. Like remember when he came back to the village, and and they came to, I guess they came to warn the Hokage about something. But remember when Itachi and Kasame had came back to the village, and then they ran into like Kakashi and Might Guy and everybody, and they eventually end up running into Jiraiya and Naruto, and remember when Sasuke came, bruh. Itachi beat the living shit out of he beat the shit out of Sasuke, man. It was sad, man, because it was one of them things like, bruh, like, did you have to do him like that, bruh? Like it was bad, bruh. Because you gotta think about how Sasuke felt. It's like, bruh, like, so you'd have left me alive. You know, you've been gone for all these years. Not only are you gone, and you come back to the village, you didn't even come back to see me, nigga. Like, you didn't even come back to see me. You literally went to go see Naruto, but basically my rival. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already tripping because Naruto getting stronger. You know what I mean? But now you just skipped over me. Like, look, man, I ain't even here to see you. And then when you do see me, you beat my ass. Like, it was, yo, that shit was crazy, man. Yeah, that's crazy, man. What's the next show, man? I gotta, because I can talk about Naruto all day. So, next show, okay, Shippuden. We're gonna go to Shippuden because we already on Naruto. Because Shippuden is one of those other shows. Like, if I watch one episode, like, I literally gotta go back and watch, like, you know, I gotta watch it from there to then. Like, I think one of my favorite ones, of course, you know, because I'm a Sasuke fan, is when Sasuke finally fights Orochimaru and leaves the lair, you know, Orochimaru's hideout. I loved it because, like, it was such a long gap between when we got to see Sasuke from the original series to now, and it just focused on him, you know, so that's probably my favorite part of the series. I mean, even though my boy, you know what I'm saying, he was doing his thing, you know, when he fought Deidara and stuff like that, but when he ran into Killer B, you know, that shit was insane, man. Killer B he was beating the brakes off Sasuke. Sasuke, my dude, but that was one of my favorite episodes. But I don't know how many times I watched that episode, man. The animation on there was phenomenal. And it kind of really gave us a glimpse of, like, a Jinchuriki who had control over their tail beast. So, you know, anyway, that's Shippuden. That's one of my other ones that I watched. But another one, I would say shows like Hunter x Hunter. You know, the tournament on there. I would say another show that One Piece is one of them too. Like, which is one of the worst shows to go back and start watching any arc, because every arc is hundreds of fucking episodes. Like, you know what I mean? So, and I heard that and I read that they're remaking One Piece, remastering it basically, which should be interesting. But I never have heard of a show that's remastering the show while the show is still playing. You know what I mean? Which, that's some new shit. You know what I mean? They like, yo, we gonna get this money by all means. So, but outside of that, with One Piece, I would say Solo Leveling is another one. But Solo Leveling hasn't been out that long, so I mean, you can rewatch. And they don't even got that many episodes, but you can rewatch that shit all, like, you know, every week if you wanted to. You know. Another one that I would say I just got back into watching because they have the newer series, and I need to get back to watching the newer series. I know that you guys know. I remember you guys. I think I did an episode before, but you guys remember, like, Ronin Warriors? Ronin Warriors was one of my favorite shows ever. You know what I mean? It's one of my favorite shows ever. Like, realistically, I think Ronin Warriors actually was the show that really got me deep into anime. Even though Dragon Ball Z was probably the main one, because I'm trying to remember the time frame. I remember Ronin Warriors being one that I was really invested in, probably before Dragon Ball Z, if I'm not mistaken. You had other animes which I didn't really, you know were considered animes at the time. I mean, I knew that they were like Japanese cartoons and stuff like that. You know, we had like Sailor Moon, and I didn't even know that Speed Racer was considered an anime. So there was a couple of shows that turned me on to anime, but I think Ronin Warriors was the one that I was really deep into, especially when they came out with the toys. Like, the toys that they had for Ronin Warriors was like off the chain. Like, you know, this is when like Toys R Us and KB Toys and all that stuff was still open, because I remember actually going to Toys R Us or whatever to get I think Ryo of the Wildfire, and I got like him with the white white blades or whatever. I'll probably be able to find it so you guys can see it on the screen. But yeah, man, like they had some ill ass toys, man. Like, and you know, like you remember the difference between like I remember the kid. The difference between like stores when it came to toys, like Walmart wasn't a place we went to for toys. I mean, you had to go to like the real toy spot. Like you had to go to like Toys R Us, KB Toys. There were other spots in the mall and stuff like that, but Target, it was even having toys. But I know that I went to specific spots to go get action figures, because you know, like some places that you went, they didn't have like the joints, you know, like they didn't have the joints on the action figures. Like they had like the straight arms and stuff like that, to where you couldn't really bend their arms and stuff like that. Those were like the cheap joints. But if you went to like Toys R Us or like KB Toys or something like that, you was able to, you know, shit, if you got a toy that could bend a finger, you was doing your thing, you know. But I remember like it was certain toys that were like really, you know, that I had to go to certain places to get the proper one. So, but anyway, that's going past that. But those are just like the animes, like replayables. I mean, I'm sure I got more than that. But then we have, let's talk about video games. Like there are certain video games that I will go back and play, just because. And one of them is, let me see which one we're gonna go out with first. One of them is Ninja Gaiden. The one for, you know, the Xbox PS3 version, you know what I mean? Like that first one. I mean, you had 2 and 3 that they came out with recently 4. I haven't played 4 yet. I will be playing that. But that was my game, bro. I used to be on that game like tough. Just jumping up, slicing people's heads off and stuff like that. It was one of those games that just, man, bro, I love that game. That was one of my games. Outside of that game, there was another game that I would play all the time. I would jump back on my 64 and I love to play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's one of my favorite Zeldas, if not my favorite Zelda game that ever came out. So I'm happy that the Switch announced that they got a new one coming out. But I've played all of the Zelda games, and for some reason, man, that one just hands down to me is my favorite. And the thing is, it's not like they dropped a whole bunch of bad Zelda games after that game. It's just that one just kind of stood out, and the replay value on there is very high for me. Okay, then we have another game. People of my age range, everybody will agree to this, especially if you were a Sega fan. So I'm gonna say my go-to Sega game that I will always replay all the time and just beat it over and over again was Streets of Rage 2. Streets of Rage 2 was one of them games, man, that I love to play. It was just me and my brothers and them would play it and just beat the levels. We would put it on hard. It was just, the more people we fought, the merrier. It was just one of those games. Outside of Streets of Rage 2. Oh, there's another hidden gem, man, that I'm gonna play on my channel. Cause I actually want to beat it. I never actually beat the game. Like Sega had 2 X-Men games that literally to me are just legendary. The first one was just a regular, you know, the X-Men game. I don't know if it was called Uncanny X-Men or it just was called X-Men. But that game, tough. Graphics at the time were really ahead of its time. And it was just, you know, it was a great platform game, you know, especially if you were the X-Men fan watching X-Men at that time. So they really did a good job with that game. Another one, they had X-Men Clone Wars, which was the second X-Men game they had on there. That game, graphics was boosted up too. So even if you look at them now, man, I think that they would be good handheld games to play. Like they were really good games, you know, and I did never beat both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like those games were hard to play. They were just hard to play. Like when you get to certain levels, man, it was like impossible to beat some people in there. So then we have up next another game that I would play all the time and go back and play would be like X-Men Legends. X-Men Legends was one of those games, man. Of course, you had Ultimate Alliance and stuff like that. So X-Men Legends, Ultimate Alliance, just that series alone. I'm gonna just say the Ultimate Alliance X-Men Legends series because it's a great game to play with friends and family, you know, for co-op. So it's one of those games that that you just really can't get enough of. They have another game that some people might not be familiar with. It's a game called Sengoku Basara. That game was epic. I love like Dynasty Warrior type of games, and this one had a great storyline to it. They even had an anime that was connected to it, so I even looked that up and watched that online too. It was a good series or whatever. Yeah, man, but it's a great beat 'em up game, a great game to play if you're looking to have some fun, especially with friends. They also have a game. Oh, and yeah, also I used to play One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 all the time. You know, out of all of the One Piece games, I think that one to me is my favorite. 4 is great. 4 is a good game, but it's lacking certain elements that 3 had. And I hate when they do that, when they take away certain things that kind of added to the game. But yeah, it's still a good game though. It's still a good game. So we also had a game I used to play all the time. We used to always replay all the time, a game called Fighting Force. It looks, I mean, you know, when you go back and look at it now, it looks terrible, you know, but Fighting Force was something that we were waiting on at the time because, you know, coming from like Streets of Rage and Final Fight and all of these different games, like the platform games, Captain Commando, you know, things of that nature, we always wanted a 3D one that we can play, you know, with each other. And I think that was like the first attempt to really do that, and it was actually probably the first successful attempt that I've seen. So that's one game that we used to play all the time, that I used to play all the time. A game that I play now that helps me pass time by, that I really love, is Dragon Ball Kakarot. Kakarot is is a perfect game. When it comes to just following the anime from start to finish or whatever it is, it's a perfect game. Graphics is beautiful. You get to really explore the Dragon Ball Z universe, the Dragon Ball universe, in a way that you just never seen before. They even added certain elements on there, man, certain things when it comes to like Planet Vegeta. You know, like we never really got to see Planet Vegeta, or at least fly around on Planet Vegeta. So, you know, things like that was you know, the games like that are games that I go to. Now, there are still other games that I have missed out on, you know, one of them, Super Mario 3. Can't forget Super Mario 3. Super Mario 3 is one of the top Mario games of all time, you know. But as much as I like Super Mario 3, my favorite Mario game actually is Super Mario World on Super Nintendo. That's actually my favorite one, the one where Yoshi was introduced. I can play that all day. Like I could still play that to this day. I can just fly through that game, you know what I mean? Like I used to go back to one level all the time just to get the cape, get all the coins, you know what I mean? Just keep replaying that level to just build up all my, get all my one-ups, and probably had like 99 lives all the time playing that game. And but yeah, like there's other games that I play too. Of course, you know, the fighting games like Tekken. I go back and play the older Soul Calibur games. You know, especially the one with Link in there, and you know, Darth Vader and the Apprentice and all of them. We also had games like, of course, you know, the Smash Brothers series. I mean, so. But yeah, man, this is just episode of just me venting and basically just, you know, just running down memory lane and trying to, you know, connect with the fans, man. See what y'all like. I mean, what type of games do y'all go back to or even animes or whatever. Just what are you connected to where like if you watch an episode of anime, like does it make you watch it from that episode to the end of the series now? Like now, is your whole schedule messed up like mine? Because ever since I played Dragon Ball Spark and Zero the other weekend and was playing with Krillin and ended up on Namek, and I'm like, okay, damn, I now want to watch the show. So do you guys run into that? Because if y'all do, man, like let me know, man, in the comments. I want to see what everybody's talking about, man. So. But yeah, man, that's just this episode, man. This is something different that I'm gonna start doing, man. Just because we actually on my channel, like I like to stay nostalgic. I like to bring up the good feelings and things that keep us all connected, man. So yeah, let me know what y'all looking at and how y'all feel about this episode, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all.